Hello, and thank you for tuning in, Rose Ward, Stampersdelight.com. Thank you for tuning in to my YouTube channel Monday night. Just looking on. Oh, yes, we got a few people on already. Karen, Bree, hello. Thank you for tuning in. It's so great to be back with you again. I know I missed it last week. I'm sorry about that. And I really didn't have a lot planned for tonight because I did have my holiday card buffet this weekend, which the girls made holiday cards. They got to pick which ones they wanted to make. So I thought, let me show you the cards we made and then stamp a few. So I hope you enjoy this. Hi, Yvette. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Deb. So we are going to get started. Before I do that, I want to just show you, and I always forget which way to look at my new sign, Stampers Welcome. That is a heavy-duty ceramic sign, and that is on the Stampersdelight shop.com. That's a new item out there, and I absolutely love it. I think I might have to get another one for my upstairs door. So go check it out. So let's get started. Grab your coffee, grab your tea, and come stamp with me. Let's see if I can get through this without coughing. I'm going to switch the camera. Okay, so a couple of things I want to go over first. Of course, it's November now, so my host code has changed. And this is the host code for November. If you want to place an order with me or you want to join my team, which I would love to have you, go to Stampersdelight.com. And if you want to place an order on the apparel shop for sweatshirts, t-shirts, mugs, or that nice ceramic sign, just go to Stampersdelightshop.com. Now, as you know, I was giving away one of the Stampin' Queen towels, and Maureen Preston from upstate New York won that. And Maureen, I will get that out to you soon. Oh, thank you, Jamie. Hi, everyone. If I don't say hello, it's because I'm busy stamping. So we are going to get, like I said, we're going to get started. Okay, so tomorrow on the website, you will be able to order Eden's Gardens. And Eden's Gardens is a pre-release or an early release. And the stamp set and dies will be in the next catalog. The papers, and I think the gems, will not be. The gems maybe. I'm not quite 100% sure about that, but I will find out. So if you want to get this now, okay, you can start ordering that tomorrow. But the thing I want to tell you is that's also my November online class. And everything will be in the description below when I am done with the video or with the live. And I urge you, if you're going to do my November class and you want to order the bundle through me, or the collection through me, I urge you to do that right away because you can sign up till November 10th, but these items are while supplies last. Okay, so you definitely want to get that on for get that in while you can. I'm sorry, I'm looking at Yvette Smith, first time live. Well, thank you and welcome. And I see we have someone from Holland. Wow, lots of people. Let's see. Do you know why the seal is no longer available? If you're talking about the Stampin' Seal, Yvette, it's not that it's not available. It's just so back ordered they took it off. It will be coming back. Just keep an eye out for that. I believe she was talking about the Stampin' Seal refills. They what happens is if it's back ordered, it'll tell you it's back ordered. But if they get too far back ordered, they just stop the ordering. But it will come back. Okay. So, my card buffets, everybody always asks me about them. So, I'm just going to bring in one of them. So, the girls get to pick, and this is what the bin looks like, okay? And I have bins out there. Let me just flip the camera so you can see it face up. So, they come to the house, and I have all these bins with different cards for them to make. And they get to choose what cards they want to make and how many. And I do it every year, and it's always a blast. I always usually do it around Halloween. So I'm going to show you the cards that we made, and then I'm going to stamp a few. They're not real hard cards because I have a variation of, you know, new stampers, avid stampers, but they're fun cards. So I'm going to flip the camera again. Okay. Yes, Yvette Smith and Yvette Kramer, both on. I like that. Okay, so one of the first cards we did was A Joyful Christmas. And again, I'll put all the stamp sets down, but they're all from the holiday catalog, okay? And so this is one of our cards that they got to pick and choose from. They wanted to make these. Another one, and some of them may look familiar from videos that I had done in the past. Okay, so let me bring that down. This is the Festive and Bright. We did a Thanksgiving card. And they all had Winkastella on each table, so if they wanted to Winkastella anything, they could. Where did I get those storage bins? The storage bins I got from the Dollar Tree, my favorite, next to Stampin' Up, years ago. And then I just put some decals that Stampin' Up used to sell on there. So this was a Thanksgiving card that they could have chose to do. This one's really cute. You're going to notice that some of the things I might have used we don't have anymore, but these are actually the cards that came from a paper pumpkin, I think last year. And I had so many of them left, and I was going to stamp or ink this with the brushes, but then I looked and I thought, oh my gosh, that looks like a great evening card. So we did a little tearing here to make it look like a snowbank, and a little coloring of the Be Jolly Santa, and of course a lot of Winkastella. He's sparkling. And of course this one got a little messed up being out on the table. Some of my cards do get a little messy when they're out on the table, so I apologize for that. Have a holly jolly Christmas. The next one you're going to see is actually some parts from the paper pumpkin, October paper pumpkin, and then I added some designer series paper. So this designer series paper is in the holiday catalog, and then I just added some of the pieces from the paper pumpkin, and they got to choose that one if they so wanted to. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, what do you do with the ones that are all left over? Well, guess what? I make them, and those become some of my Christmas cards. This one, of course, is our friendly little snowman. And again, lots of Winkastella. Oh, thank you, Cynthia. So that's another one. And, of course, these snowflakes here are from one of the new sets that I haven't showcased yet. But I promise I'm going to try to get to every single stamp set that I bought. This is another one that I used the paper pumpkin trees from. And, of course, you can see from the paper pumpkin that plaid paper, which I cut. And this was actually the paper pumpkin card. I cut those all apart, and I made different cards. They had quite a variety. And, of course, here's our little bird with the Noel and the punch with the foil paper. I love the snowmen too. Now this, and I love this. This we had last year. This was a card pack we could have bought. Look at that gorgeous envelope. And all we did was use the Whimsy and Wonder. Very quick, easy card, but look how elegant that looks. And that, of course, is with the Garden Green, and then I just used Blushing Bride. And they got to do this one. Oh, I see a little oopsie there, too. I guess I'll have to put something on that. So that was another one that they got to choose. And, of course, it was the day before Halloween, so I had to give them a Halloween card in case somebody needed a last-minute Halloween card. And that was the Halloween card that they could choose from. And then again, I had a lot of this designer series paper left. So here's a nice, such a nice card and not hard to do at all. So this was the designer series paper from last year. Of course, I added the new snowflakes and some of our blue embellishments. And then this one you might have seen on one of my videos, because I did do this one where I cut the designer series paper into 4s, and then I made that. Everybody thinks that's a die by itself. It is a die, but it's a square die, and you just have to cut the sled and reindeer out. Okay, so that was another one. Love the black and white with a little splash of red. Yes, they had lots of choices. Here is another one with the designer series paper. the opposite one of this. And like it, as you can see, not hard to make, but just nice, easy cards. Now we do have a couple more, but I'm going to actually stamp those. So let me bring that in, and I'll show you this one. So this was the little reindeer bundle that we have. And I'm going to bring that in and stamp that one. So let me bring this in. So we had the garden green, and we had the crumb cake, and of course we had the peaceful reindeer. Again, I didn't have a lot planned because, you know, I was busy doing this class, but I thought you'd like to see some of this. So I hope you enjoy it. Let me get out my stamps here. All right. So the first thing I'm going to do is, of course, fold my cardstock. When you're making a lot of cards, they don't have to be really intricate cards. They can be just as nice like this. And my bone folder is not on my table. So let me just, well, I'm just going to use my finger. Okay, because I don't have my bone folder over here because everything got moved from the buffet. So let me see what I got here. You know what? I'm just going to go grab it because I love to use my bone folder. Of course, I could have used my paper trimmer, which is right next to me, and the scoring tool. All right, so we're just going to do that. All right, so there's the base. I'm going to bring in this piece here, and I'm going to stamp it first, and I'm going to use garden green and one of the large trees. I'll tell you, the trees on this stamp set, I think we used in like 3 or 4 cards. And I'm just going to go ahead and stamp that once. Stamp it again. One more time up here. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I am going to take the Merry Christmas. Hopefully I get this straight. Also in the garden green. And then, I'm going to put that over here for a second. I am going to take my brush, one of my blending brushes, and the Early Espresso. So this is a little bit of a technique for those who've never seen it. And I am just going to add some of the brown around here. So it almost looks like it's burnt. You can put as much or as little as you want. The edges, the corners, I like to have a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my scissors, which of course aren't here. I'm going to grab those. Boy, I am not prepared today. All right. I'm going to grab an old pair of scissors. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rough that up. Breaking up the fibers of here. I wish you lived closer too, Yvette. One of my team members, Yvette Kramer's on, saying she wishes she lived closer. And I wish you all lived closer so you could come to my classes. And I'll be doing a lot more after I retire next month. Yay! Okay. So let me just get this out of the way because it does break the fibers and you do get a lot of these pieces. So now what happens is you have all these rough edges. And you can also take your finger and just do that too. Just rough it up a little bit. Gives it such a nice look. I'm going to go ahead and adhere that down. I am going to change a couple little things like the doodads on these cards. And I'm just going to lay that right on there. And once you lay it on the green, now you can really see those brown edges and the distressed edges. Oh yeah, you got to try that. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I have a little reindeer that I've already cut out. They didn't have to cut these out. I did that for them. Some of the work I did ahead of time. Some of the work they had to do, I had 2 stations set up with embossing, my 4 die cutting machines. I have 2 of the old ones and 2 of the new ones, so they had to cut, emboss. We had a blast. Okay, I'm going to take this little guy. I'm going to grab a dimensional. Take your pick tool. And before I did that, I should have put his, no, that's okay, I can do it now. Put that deer right there. I got my little white baker's twine, and that's really too big. I want a smaller bow. Let me just cut that off. Get my big, good scissors. A little easier. All right, and I'm going to put that little bow right on him. It's still too large. I don't want the bow to overpower my deer. Okay, so now let me grab a glue dot. You know, our glue dots come in rolls, but I always have a lot left from my kits. So that's usually what I have on my table here. So if you saw my post, we went to IKEA. And I got one of those cubes, the KLX cubes, and a new desk for my videos, which will be going over in the corner. So I'll have a whole new setup. Okay, so that's the front. Now I'm going to bring in some gems. And just take a red rhinestone, put that right on the end of his nose. And then I have a couple extras, so I'm just going to put those right here so it kind of brings out the message. For the inside, of course, I'm using the Very Vanilla, and I'm going to use the Cherry Cobbler for the inside here. I'm going to take my garden green again and just stamp a tree. Now, if I wanted to, I could stamp another tree and just do light and dark. Look how that looks. Another great technique, right? So you got a bunch of trees and without re-inking. Okay, so let's put this on here. Wishing you a wonderful year and friendship, dear. And then I'm just gonna put that in here. You thought, I thought the deer was, no, the deer is a punch that we have, which is also right now not available, but it'll be coming back. That was back ordered. It's the Peaceful Reindeer bundle. And there we have the card, the first card. So that was another one we did. Oh, but wait, I have more. And one of them I've never used. I try to do a video on all the sets that I buy. That doesn't always happen. But the next one, and let me just put these away, I'm going to show you, is our sweater card. So let me bring that up so you can see it. And we do have the Knit Together stamp. And then we have the great dies that go with it. Okay. Oh, thank you. Yes, it is exciting to do over my craft room. Okay, so in this, you have all these little pieces to make sweater. Okay, to make these different sweater. What I did is I only gave them the choice to use a few because otherwise it gets a little confusing when you have a lot of people here. So I'm going to do the same thing I did with them. I'm not going to use the zigzags. And, of course, you see that there's more in here. So many of these. But these are the 4 I used. And this also was such a cute card. Very easy to make. The first thing I'm going to do is bring... Now, this is a large stamp. Okay? And you can stamp it a couple of different ways. You can ink it up and just lay your cardstock. Let me just bring that in. You can ink it up and lay your cardstock on there like that. Or you can use your Stamparatus, which I love. And I know you don't see me use the Stamparatus very often, but trust me, I use it a lot. Maybe not so much on camera. And for some reason, let me just get this off. This is really sticky. Okay. Those blocks for this large stamps are way too large for my hands. Let me just take one of these off. Probably only need one of the magnets. So I'm going to open that up. My card, I'm going to put right here. Okay, I'm just going to put that right there. And then I can just lay this just like that. Okay. All right. I'm going to move this out as far as I can so I get most of it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, for this one I use the Smoky Slate. Ink that up really well. I love the sweater. Oh my God, it's so cute. And I was so happy that I got to show this to you. Okay, I'm going to actually take that out because I don't want that sweater not to get the whole thing. Okay, so stick that down. Press it really well. The nice thing about the Stamparatus is if you lift it up and it hasn't stamped the way you want it, you can redo it right in the same spot. Now, I do have a couple little missing pieces, so you know what? I'm just going to ink it up again. And since I didn't move it, it should be perfect. That's why you want to use the magnets, but I cheated. Didn't use them. Okay, there we go. And now we have that sweater effect. So let me get this out of the way. Then what I did was I brought in these little guys. And I'm going to bring in my embossing, die cutting and embossing machine. So let me bring that over. I know you can't see this, but this, I can't believe how they got this knit to look so real. It's amazing to me. All right, so we're going to put this on here. I'm going to lay this on here, and then I'm just going to layer these. So we'll use this, and you can layer them however you want. You could actually put more of these on here, but I'm just going to use the 4. And I'm actually not even putting them in the same order. Now, what I do suggest on this, once you get it where you want it, I would use some Post-it notes. Let me grab this Post-it note because you want to keep these as straight as you can. Let me grab this other Post-it note. And then I'm just going to run this through. Now, what I did find is that you might want to run it through. I like to do it a couple of times. Okay, so, whoop, I just saw one of my jump when I did this. So it moved, but you get the idea. This is one of the reasons why I'm getting another table, because this one has a tendency to jump when I'm doing it, and I can see my camera moving. So my new table should not do that. Let's hope. Okay. I'm going to bring this out. And then with the wire brush, these would all pop out. Okay, so I did it a couple times so they would pop out easier. Look at, you could use these little reindeers. So flick those off. And if you have the metal brush, which I do, it's on the other table, you would just use that. Okay, I'm going to move this out of the way. what else I need. Okay. So now I have my sweater. Look at that. Now some of these edges, this came off the edge a little bit, but it's okay. It's a sweater. We can make it an ugly sweater if you want. But it's too cute to be an ugly sweater. I'm going to go ahead, and I use the thick basic white when I'm using it as a base. And look at, you just lay that right on there, and look how cute that is. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and glue that down. You were on the fence about this set? Oh my gosh, it's so cool. Okay, there we go with that. Now I also had these little circles cut out for them, so they didn't have to do that. And we're gonna stamp that. Now, the stamp set for this one, because the sweater doesn't have any sayings, and I used Holly Jolly Wishes on a lot of my Christmas cards. You'll see that if you didn't already. So this set I absolutely love. I'm going to bring in that gray granite, or smoky slate rather. And I am going to stamp "'Tis the Season to Be Jolly." I'm going to bring in a piece of this gray granite ribbon. Just snip off a little bit. Almost like a little pin on the sweater, right? So I'm just going to take a little bit of glue here, so it actually looks just like a pin on your Christmas sweater. So let me grab a dimensional or two. And I'm just going to put that right there. There we go. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in some other gems. Now, I used regular rhinestones for this one. But I forgot about these wonderful gems, the red and the white with the gold flecks in it. I forgot I had them. So I'm going to change this one because I think I want the red on there. So I'm going to take the large one, put it right there. And then take a couple smaller ones and just put it like that. Quick, cute, easy card. Love the sweater. Okay, so it says "'Tis the Season to Be Jolly." I'm going to stamp it with "Have a Holly Jolly Christmas." I'm going to take the snowflake from, and I don't have the stamp set here of what the snowflake one is, but I'll put it in the description probably tomorrow. So it might be too late tonight. And there I have another great card. And don't just think about Christmas, because you can use this for Valentine's Day or any occasion, because they do have other dies in there. So what do you think, Yvette? You said you were on the fence about it. Okay, so that was another one that we did. Let me put these stamps over here so I don't get myself all messy. And we're going to do another one. So the next one I have is this, and this one looks so nice, and hopefully the girls put everything back here. Okay, so this one is done with the Christmas season, and the sentiments are used, the Encircled in Warmth. Okay, so I mixed and matched a lot of stamp sets for this. So for this one, and again, quick, easy card, but oh my gosh, it's so nice. And I love cherry cobbler and crumb cake. I just love that. Okay, so what we're going to do first is we're going to stamp this one. So I'm going to bring in the stamps here from the Christmas season. And I need the greenery. There we go. Okay. So what I did with this one first, I'll stick that over there. I'm making a mess over here, but a mess is good, right? All right, so we're going to take our pine cones first. Okay, and I'm using the crumb cake, and I'm going to make one here. And I'm going to make one here. I'm going to do the same thing over here. And you notice I'm going off the paper. So that's the crumb cake. Then I'm going to grab Early Espresso. I'll be back Friday morning, Facebook Live, with another new stamp set that I haven't used yet. And Friday I'll be on at 8 a.m. instead of 7 a.m. I have the day off, so I'm going to hop on a little later. And I will post that so you remember. So it's 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Friday morning, Facebook Live. So there you go. That's two-step stamping. Let's put that over there. Now I'm going to bring in my shaded spruce and a couple of these little sprigs. I could leave it like that, actually, and not even put any more in there. I might do that. Change it up a little bit. What I mean by that is, you see I had some extra sprigs going here. I'm going to leave it like this for now. I am going to bring in my cherry cobbler, which should be up here. Where did I put my cherry cobbler? I just had that. Or did I move it over here? Well, I don't see it, so let's just go with the real... Ah, there it is. I knew I had it. When doing this many projects, you do... Well, at least I do lose a lot of things. Okay. And what I'm going to do here is just put some berries all around. I think I'm going to do another sprig here. Or sprig, whatever you want to call it. Like I said, these are just quick, easy cards. Okay. Oop, what did I do? Put that in the green? Well, let's just go back over it with the cherry cobbler. There you go. Always a way to fix a mess up, right? Okay. Then I'm going to take the sentiment, wishing you love, joy, happiness the coming year. I'm going to take the Early Espresso. This one I'm going to put right here. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the embossing folder, which is called Merry Melody. I love this embossing folder, and the thing I like about it is it doesn't just have to be for Christmas because there's no words on it, so you can use it. My husband's a musician. I could use this for a birthday card. I'm going to go ahead and put that through my embossing machine. And grab those pieces that go to it. I'm just looking where I put those now. Oh, there they are right in front of me. Okay, let's get this together. All right, so we are going to go ahead and emboss this now. You hear me clanking around here, right? Okay. Oh, yes, you gotta love the pine cones. All right. And move that out of the way. And here we go with that. This, I love this embossing folder. What's not to love, right? Okay, so now we're going to take our cherry cobbler base. I'm going to go ahead and fold that. And I'm going to just glue this on here. Listen, I love my fancy folds. I love my detailed cards, but I'll tell you, sometimes I just like to stamp. No fuss, no muss, right? Okay. And there we have the outside. Now the inside, I use the Encircled In Warmth. Warm Merry Christmas wishes. And let's see if I have that right here. I'm going to change, now I'm going to go with the brown. I'm going to go ahead and ink that up. Okay. And then for the inside, and of course I would do the envelopes to match. So for this one, I'm going to actually do them this way. And I don't know about you, but when you're making 200 cards to send out, I love everybody I send my cards to, but I'm not making 200 fancy fold cards. So these come in handy. Okay, just going to do that. And that. Close that one up. And then go ahead and glue that down. There you go. There's another one from the card buffet. Oh, got to put some gems on it. This one I had the cherry cobbler rhinestones. I'm going to use those new gems that I forgot I had. I'm going to try to grab the ones with the most gold in them. And I think maybe I'm going to grab a red one, just to be a little different. So it's kind of a little different. I got 2 different gems on there, but hey, I like to try things out, see how they look. So there we have another card from the card buffet. What are you thinking so far? You like them? You want to come to New York the next time I have one? Okay, let's see. We'll do one more. And this one is actually from the paper pumpkin. Leftovers from that. So let's just grab that. Okay. So the sentiment is from the paper pumpkin, and the little trees are still from the reindeer, peaceful reindeer. I'm going to go ahead and fold that in half. And I should have checked to make sure that I had, yes, I do. Okay. So in here, and you can see this is the way everything is packaged for them. So they just pull out what they need. The envelopes are back here. The inside is also here. And then what they do is they make the cards how many they want. I do have they can only do 3 of one bin until everybody gets a shot at it. And then they clean everything and put it back. And then they grab another bin. Okay, so this one's going to get glued right down here. But for this one, what I did was I used dimensionals. So it was, had a little dimension to it. Again, I do the card buffet twice a year. I do the holiday card buffet, and then I do an all-occasion card buffet towards the spring. So that kind of helps you have enough cards during the year for different occasions. Okay, and so I'm just going to lay that right there. Then what they would do is go into that little bag and pull out one of the little trees, or the vellum trees. And also this little bag here. If you ever get to New York, I'm doing some shopping too. Well, yes, New York City has some great shopping. I'm about an hour and a half north of New York City, so I just actually, when we picked our son up at the airport, you can see New York City. We go to New Jersey airport, but it's just easier to get to. New York City is absolutely gorgeous at night. I wouldn't want to live there, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And it's good, got good shopping, that's for sure. So I'm going to put a little glue on that. I'm just going to put this right here. Bree is totally in for that too. Oh, I put my trees crooked. We don't want our Christmas trees crooked. I was reading my comments. No crooked trees here. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, and I don't have to glue the tops of them down because they are going to stay down once I get everything else on top of it. Again, these were pieces from the paper pumpkin, but even if you don't get the paper pumpkin, you can use these ideas using other stamp sets, okay? And you can cut these kind of pieces out from designer series paper, like this wood piece here. We have wood designer series paper, just cut it out. And as far as the Noel, okay, we do have other dies that cut holiday sentiments out. So you could go ahead and try that, you know, doing that. Just change it up a bit. Okay, so for this, I am going to use my glue dots. Yes, I'd love to have all of you come to my card buffet. Let me know when you're coming. Okay, 3 of those will probably be enough. There we go. And I'm going to put that right there. Nothing to it. And then for the inside, I'm using the little paper pumpkin sentiment. But again, any Christmas sentiment that you have would work. You have so many to choose from. And one of those little trees from the Peaceful Reindeer. I'm going to give a couple more little trees. Maybe even a couple more. There we go. You know what? And then watch this. I'm going to just put some back there. Tap that off. Put some back there. So I got a little clump of trees in the bottom. And then I am going to just glue that down. Remember, this designer series paper is in the holiday catalog. And for this one, I'm going to change it up again, and I'm going to grab some of those red gems. Actually, I think the red gems really bring the card out. What do you think? Those were the silver ones. I like the red. And then I'm going to grab a larger one for right here. And there we have another card from the card buffet. What did you think? Did you like the card buffet cards? You want to see them again real quick? And I will have still shots on my blog later tomorrow and also on Facebook tomorrow. So there we have that one. We had this one that we did. We have the sweater. Oh, we did 4, didn't we? And then the Peaceful Reindeer. These 2. This one. Great way to use up some of your products. So this might be a hard question with all these cards, but which one's your favorite? I always like to ask that. I love our little snowman. And of course I love the little jolly Santa. Happy Thanksgiving. Festive and bright. And this one I just think is so elegant. You love them all. Well, that was a good thing then. So I hope you enjoyed my YouTube video, my YouTube live. And I hope you'll tune in. Don't forget to subscribe. I hope you'll tune in Friday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Facebook, and I will be live again. And until then, have a great week, everyone, and keep on stamping. Bye.